What if the person who saw you as just a friend suddenly couldn't imagine life without you? What if the love you gave up on was the one that would change everything? This is the story of Maya and Arjun, a tale that will remind you that sometimes, the best love stories are the ones where timing makes all the difference. If you believe in second chances and the power of patience, stay with us until the end. And if this story touches your heart, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more emotional journeys like this one. Maya had always been the kind of girl who loved with her whole heart. She didn't know how to do things halfway. When she met Arjun in their first year of college, it was like watching sunrise after a long, dark night. He walked into the library where she was studying, his messy hair falling over his forehead, his eyes scanning the room until they landed on the empty seat beside her. He smiled, asked if he could sit there, and just like that, her world tilted on its axis. From that day forward, Maya and Arjun became inseparable. They studied together, laughed together, shared their dreams over countless cups of cheap coffee at the campus cafe. Maya fell for him slowly at first, then all at once. She fell for the way he listened when she talked about her poetry, the way he remembered small details about her life, the way his laughter could light up even her darkest days. She fell for his kindness, his ambition, his quiet strength. But Arjun. He saw her as his best friend, nothing more. Maya tried to tell him how she felt. One evening, as they watched the sunset from their favorite spot on campus, she gathered all her courage and confessed. Her voice trembled as she told him that he meant more to her than just friendship, that she had fallen completely and irrevocably in love with him. Arjun's face changed. He looked uncomfortable, almost guilty. He told her gently that he cared about her deeply but didn't feel the same way. He valued their friendship too much to pretend otherwise. Maya smiled through the pain, told him she understood, and spent that entire night crying into her pillow. But here's the thing about Maya. She didn't let heartbreak destroy her. She decided to channel her pain into something beautiful. She threw herself into her writing, poured her feelings onto pages that would later become her first published collection of poetry. She joined new clubs, made new friends, discovered parts of herself she never knew existed. She learned to love herself first, to find joy in her own company, to build a life that didn't revolve around someone else's validation. And slowly, gradually, she began to heal. Arjun watched this transformation from the sidelines. They remained friends, though the closeness they once shared had faded into something more careful, more distant. He dated other girls, had relationships that came and went like seasons, but something always felt missing. He told himself it was just life, just growing up, just the natural progression of things. He didn't realize what he had until he no longer had it. 2 years passed. Maya graduated with honors and got accepted into a prestigious writing program in another city. The night before she was supposed to leave, there was a farewell party. Arjun showed up, standing at the edge of the crowd, watching Maya laugh and celebrate with friends. She looked radiant, confident, completely at peace with herself. And in that moment, something shifted inside him. It was like seeing her for the first time all over again, except this time, he truly saw her. Not just as his friend, not just as the girl who once loved him, but as the woman who had become extraordinary in her own right. Panic seized his chest. She was leaving. Tomorrow. And suddenly, the thought of life without her felt unbearable. All those moments they had shared flooded back to him with crushing clarity. The way she always knew when he was upset, even when he tried to hide it. The way she challenged his opinions and made him think differently about the world. The way her smile could make even the most ordinary day feel special. How had he been so blind? That night, after everyone else had gone home, Arjun found Maya alone on the terrace, looking at the stars. His heart was pounding as he approached her. He called her name softly, and when she turned to face him, he saw surprise in her eyes. They stood there in silence for a moment, and then Arjun started to speak. His voice cracked as he told her everything. How he had been a fool. How he had taken her for granted. How watching her grow and flourish without him had made him realize that she wasn't just important to his life, she was essential to it. How he had fallen in love with her, deeply and completely, and the thought of her leaving felt like losing a part of his soul. Maya listened, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. When he finished, she took a deep breath and spoke. Her voice was steady but sad. She told him that she had loved him once with everything she had. That love had nearly broken her, but it had also remade her into someone stronger, someone who knew her own worth. She thanked him for his honesty, but she also asked him a question that cut straight to his heart. Where was this love when she needed it? Where was he when she was crying herself to sleep, trying to unlove him? Arjun had no answer. He dropped his gaze, shame washing over him. Maya continued, telling him that she needed to go, needed to follow her dreams, needed to see who she could become without the shadow of her past holding her back. She couldn't stay for him, not after everything. But then she said something that gave him a sliver of hope. She said that if this was real, if his feelings were truly as deep as he claimed, then maybe, just maybe, fate would find a way to bring them back together when the timing was right. Maya left the next morning. Arjun stood at the train station, watching her go, his heart breaking in a way he never thought possible. Now he understood. Now he felt what she had felt 2 years ago. The crushing weight of loving someone who couldn't love you back the same way, at the same time. It was a pain unlike anything he had ever experienced. Months passed. Arjun threw himself into his work, but Maya was always there in his thoughts. He realized that what he felt for her wasn't just attraction or nostalgia. It was deeper than that. She had changed him fundamentally. He found himself working harder, being kinder, striving to become the kind of man who would deserve someone like her. He read her poetry, every single piece she published, and marveled at the depth of emotion and wisdom in her words. He saved articles about her achievements, felt proud every time she succeeded, ached with missing her every single day. A year went by. Then one evening, Arjun's phone buzzed with a message. It was Maya. She was coming back to the city for a poetry reading at a local bookstore. She wanted to know if he would come. His hands shook as he typed out his response. Yes. He would be there. The bookstore was packed with people when Arjun arrived. He stood at the back, his heart racing as Maya took the stage. She looked even more beautiful than he remembered, glowing with confidence and purpose. She read her poetry, and every word felt like it was speaking directly to his soul. After the reading, people crowded around her, congratulating her, asking for autographs. Arjun waited patiently until the crowd thinned. When Maya finally saw him, her eyes widened. They stood looking at each other for a long moment, and then she smiled. A real, genuine smile that reached her eyes. They went to their old cafe, the one where they used to spend hours talking. Over coffee, they shared everything that had happened in the past year. Maya talked about her program, her writing, the amazing people she had met. Arjun told her about his work, his growth, how much he had changed. Then Arjun took a deep breath and spoke from his heart. He told her that this year apart had been the hardest of his life, but also the most important. It had taught him the difference between wanting someone and truly loving them. He loved her not because she was available or convenient, but because she was Maya. Brilliant, strong, compassionate Maya. He loved her ambition, her talent, her resilience. He loved the way she had healed herself and grown. He wasn't asking her to give up anything for him. He just wanted the chance to support her dreams the way she had always supported his. He had fallen harder than he ever thought possible, and if she would give him a chance, he would spend every day proving that he was worth her time. Maya's eyes filled with tears. She told him that she had tried to move on, tried to forget him, but some part of her heart had always belonged to him. The difference now was that she was complete on her own. She didn't need him to be happy. But she wanted him, and that made all the difference. She had fallen first, but watching him fall, seeing his transformation, his genuine remorse and growth, it had rekindled something she thought was dead. They decided to start over. Not as who they were in college, but as who they had become. They took it slow, building a relationship based on mutual respect, support, and genuine partnership. Arjun showed up for her in ways he never had before. He flew to her city for her book launches, celebrated her victories, comforted her during her struggles. He proved through his actions, day after day, that his love was real. 2 years later, at that same spot on their old campus where Maya had first confessed her love, Arjun got down on one knee. This time, when he spoke of love, his words carried the weight of lived experience, of lessons learned, of growth earned through pain. And when Maya said yes, it wasn't because she needed him to complete her. It was because she chose him, every day, and he chose her back. Their story reminds us that love isn't always about perfect timing. Sometimes you fall first, and it hurts. Sometimes you fall harder, and you regret your blindness. But when two people are meant to be together, when they both grow and evolve and choose each other consciously, that's when real, lasting love begins. Maya fell first, teaching Arjun what it meant to be loved unconditionally. But Arjun fell harder, learning that the greatest love stories aren't about convenience or timing, they're about choosing to show up, to grow, and to love with everything you have. If this story moved you, if you believe in growth and second chances, show us some love by hitting that like button. And subscribe to our channel for more stories that remind us what it means to be human, to feel deeply, and to never give up on love. Because sometimes, the person who breaks your heart is the same person who teaches you how strong you really are. And sometimes, just sometimes, they come back better than before, ready to love you the way you always deserved.